I'm going to delete my social media because really the reason I'm on there is to promote my Project Reach the World. Honestly, that's been my only reason to have any of those social media platforms. So I was going to just delete them all, including my YouTube, everything. Everything's gone because to me, it became a waste of my time. Doing a project called Project Reach the World. By now, I know you know that. So it is about an hour before I have to go to my actual real job because I still got to hit that clock. And before I go, I just wanted to do a little video, and I want to document my process of what I'm doing with Project Reach the World. I kind of restarted Project Reach the World. I've been in college for like the last 4.5 years. So I haven't been able to do a lot with Project Reach the World. I have been like resharing things that I've done under that umbrella. And I try to keep it alive in whichever ways I can. But I was not able to put like a lot of time, energy, or anything into it because school and motherhood kind of took like a lot out of me. So I'm finishing school. Y'all know that, oh my God, there's no better feeling than that. I made it. And so now I'm ready to, do my passion. This has always been my passion. And I got some new skills in my tool belt that's gonna help me do that passion. So what made me relaunch this was because during the shutdown, I started to get like really, I teeter on that edge of depression. Being in the house all the time, and then you start conflicting with the other personalities around you. I'm a loner anyway, and it's like I'm trying to do homework, trying to be a teacher, it's a lot going on. And for me, I melt down. It gets to a point where I could take a lot, I really can, but then I get to a point where I melt down. So to relieve stress, what I ended up doing was I would take these long walks around my neighborhood, and I would be on YouTube chilling, just watching different YouTubers. I started watching a lot of videos, but before I get to that, what ended up sparking that, I drew and illustrated every scene of the video that accompanied this song that I wrote called Hold You Down. And back then I did that when I worked at that superstore. I would say maybe I made that back in 2008.
No matter what goes down, I'ma be around to hold you down. You was right here whenever I needed you. So now that you need me, I'ma do what I gotta do. And you was right here when I got pregnant, baby. You never once ran away from your responsibilities. And when I went in labor, you was right there by my side, holding my hand and saying, baby girl, it's gonna be alright. We was the picture perfect family.
So that one was done with color pencils, crayons, and just paper. Those were sketches that I actually drew when I was a door greeter at this job. To keep myself awake and from falling asleep, I would go to drawing, or either I would go to writing songs. So years later, once I got the graphic design and Photoshop under my belt, I decided I was gonna redo this book. And I Photoshopped every page. Every page now looks legit. It really looks like an illustration, clean. It doesn't have my ugly handwriting in it. And I shared it, and I think I may have gotten maybe 2 or 3 likes, and it looks like nobody looked at it. And I'm like, in my mind, I start thinking, I'm doing all of this really for nothing. There is no point. I'm just doing this. And I hate to feel like I'm doing something for no reason at all, because I have to have a reason to do things. And I know people are going to say, well, that's your passion. If you're an artist, then you're just going to draw stuff just, for the heck of it. But it's a little deeper than that. And I think artists will understand that if your artwork is not being appreciated, then it just feels like a waste of time. So I was to the point where I said, I'm going to delete all my social media. I'm not really on here to keep up with people. Like some people just watch people's lives. That is not why I'm on social media. Number one is to network. No matter what I do, I have to network, whether it was music, whether it is the project Reach the World, or whether it is graphic design, because guess what? They said the number one thing is who you know. So I told myself that I was going to try just one more time. And if I don't start getting any traction, nobody's, viewing my stuff, then I'm going to just, lay back and chill and let it go. I'm going to delete my social media because really the reason I'm on there is to promote my project Reach the World. Honestly, that's been my only reason to have any of those social media platforms. So I was going to just delete them all, including my YouTube, everything's gone, because to me, it became a waste of my time. And time is so precious. We cannot waste time. So I started Googling and I'm like, it gotta be a real way to do this. Cause I remember when I was a trainer, this girl told me she was a social media specialist. I'm like, wow, like you go to school. She actually went to the same school as me, but you can go to school for social media marketing. And that made me think there gotta be a real way to do this. If people are going to school, they're paying money, when you get out of school, there's no guarantee, but you want something that will kind of give you that assurance that you can have a career in this field that you went to school for. So I started thinking it gotta be a real way. That's why I started just Googling. I started just learning, and it was one video that it was one saying how to get your music seen or something like that. I'm not really trying to do that anymore because it broke my heart, but I had to let the music go because in music industry, you have an expiration date, and I'm probably still on the shelf. My expiration date then came. So, but what he did tell me, he told me about this plugin called TubeBuddy. And that was the first time I ever heard that mentioned. I'm like, well, what is this? What's TubeBuddy? So I decided to go get the TubeBuddy, and I realized that the number one thing was to know your analytics. Start knowing who's viewing you. And I just started watching YouTube after YouTube video about how to grow. And the minute I started taking some of those tips, even my old videos that were rusty dusty and get too many views started to come to life. So I'm like, oh wow, I could probably really do this. So this is under my hashtag my truth, because I'm telling my truth. This is how I feel about things. It ain't written in law, it ain't written in stone. It's just my opinion on everything. And I also have it under the hashtag try again, because I'm trying again. This is my last try, but I'm gonna try again. All right, so the first thing that I want to do under this getting out of school, I'm so excited because now I can devote the time and energy that I need and want to. So putting out that What is Project Reach the World video, I actually had some people that were willing to assist me and help me out with some guidance on what I should do. And I love it. Like, thank you so much. So one of the things that I was advised that I should do is get a petition for him, which I did have one. I believe back in maybe 2013 or 14, I had one. So just now I was sitting here in my mind, I thought I was just gonna, edit the content because it was rather long, because back then I was trying to tell the full long story of what happened, and I fear that people are not just gonna sit there and read that whole thing. So I want to be concise, to the point, and just tell the story as much as I can, but quickly, just catch their attention and get the story out there. So I was trying to just edit his petition that I had on change.org. And as I'm Googling, I realized they must delete them like after so long, because nothing's coming up, nothing in Google. And I'm like, well, maybe I didn't use change.org. Maybe I used something else. Nothing is coming up under his name and petition. So my first step is to start his petition. And I'm going to start writing up that content. So look out for that. Look out for it if you support me. If you don't, I don't want to pull no teeth. I don't want to beg. I mean, I would beg, but what's that going to get me? You still ain't going to, But if you really do support me, you know my judge of character. Like, y'all that really know me, you know Keita. Like, I have a good judge of character. I really am a really good person. I have great moral values. And I was raised by the best parents on earth. Like, I mean, come on, you know me. So I'm not out there just pushing some bull, like, for real. So if you do actually support me, then, look for it. It's coming out soon. I'm going to try to crank this out as fast as I can. Look, if I didn't have to clock in to work tonight, baby, we would have had that change.org petition up tonight. But got to go to work. Got to hit that clock. Got to make them dollars. All right. Thank you. It's your girl Cadillac.